Just like the huge.
That's right, buddy. Hey there, folks. It's Chris Waters here with Rob Handlery. We are going to be calling some GameSpot Rocket League tournament action here from the booth. If you've been with us all week, we've had some great matches, super dramatic finishes last night, and we are now we've seen almost all the competitors so far, save one team, the team of Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack. Now, in this matchup, Danny O'Dwyer is the pro, Julio the amateur, having only about 5 Rocket League games under his belt. They'll be facing off against first-round winners Richard Lee and Josh Shaw. In that pair, Josh Shaw, the pro, Richard Lee, the amateur. They won over Peter and Jake, who we watched lose in the losers bracket yesterday. And it's going to be Danny and Julio versus Josh and Richard. Starting off here very shortly, Rob. So any notes you have on this match before we get into it?
Well, Chris, we saw Josh and Richard kill it. However, the team they were playing was, yes, as you said, Peter and Jake, but they, Jake and Peter being a
Not a strong team.
Kind of a weak team.
We are going to have at least a stronger single competitor in this match in Danny O'Dwyer. He's got great field sense growing up on those green, verdant football pitches of Ireland, and they're off. Danny and Josh clashing at the start, and Josh getting the better of it. Here's the game feed. We're going to be watching it all the live long day. That's a ball across the front. Danny clears it across the goal line, no problem. Now, one thing to watch out here from Danny is he more than any player here on the GameSpot staff, likes to switch away from ball cam and go to normal cam and to get boost, because he's a big fan of having a lot of boost in his tank. Feels it gives him the versatility he needs to make the moves he wants to make. Didn't want to make that move. Was hoping to get a hit on that, but not able to, unfortunately. There's Julio doing some work in the corner.
Julio playing without a ball cam here on the flip.
That's true. He is new, and perhaps he's chosen to not play with ball cam, or perhaps he just doesn't know about it. I got to imagine his teammate has given him some coaching. They were playing a match or two earlier to warm up before the match, and so far, no score a minute into this first match. This is a best of 3, folks, so whoever wins 2 games is going to go ahead on to the next round, and there's Danny coming across. Julio getting a piece of it, too, as they clear Josh's effort to get the ball in front.
Excuse me, I was wrong. Julio is not River Dogs. That is Richard.
Yes, that's true. We've
Great.
got the blue team. It's Josh as Konnichiwa, baby, coming on with a nice shot there. That's going to go to the corner, but Danny with a save!
Danny boy. God
so
bless
excited.
you. I'm excited, too.
That was a great shot across the face of the goal. Danny able to get it, even though it had started to glow just a little bit.
Ooh, Richard with a nice solid whiff.
That was a bit of a whiff, and there's Julio with slightly errant hit. Again, folks, this is an amateur and pro tournament, and we use the term pro loosely. It's just our sort of more seasoned GameSpot Rocket Leaguers, but there's no Kernovies in the mix here. So
that is correct.
Adjust your expectations accordingly and get into the action. Here's Josh coming around with a hit. That's going to come a little bit in front, but Danny's going to try to clear. He doesn't do it, and is lingering there now for Josh to make a run on 2. Can't quite get the angle he wants. Julio gets a piece of it and gets the credit for the epic save there. And now Danny with a nice hit down into the center. That's Richard waiting in front of the goal. Jocking Danny out of the way. Gotta wonder if that was a strategy coming into this. I mean, you neutralize Danny O'Dwyer, you're gonna be taking a huge part of that team out. And now, this ball's right in front. Josh not able to do it. Danny again there. And that's where his penchant for having boost comes in handy. He's able to jet across and clear that ball from the front of the net.
Danny going back for the boost there.
He loves it, baby. He loves that boost.
I do, too. Josh, having a little fun.
And you see flips like that happen, and we, having the benefit of the broadcaster sort of omniscience, we know that the Orange team was not pressuring that, but you got to see Josh feeling the pressure, hoping to get some hits on it. And that's a nice cross in front. Danny there on the goal line to hit it back, but that's Richard Lee doing some nice work there. And Julio looking for a cross there, but Josh has a clear open net to shoot on. Is he going to make it? He is! Nice touches to dribble it around and get it in the side of the net from Josh Shaw to open up the scoring here. Just under 2 minutes to play. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's blue team up 1-0 with Josh Shaw and Richard leading Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack. All right, here. Little off the kickoff, and Danny lying in wait at the midfield to get it back in. Ooh. Oh, a little collision there between him and his teammate, but his teammate does a great job of putting it up in front. They're going to have to make a play on this.
Slammer!
What a set by Julio. A beautiful pass, and Danny O'Dwyer pounds it home to equalize. It's 1-1 here, and we have got ourselves a game, Rob.
We sure do, you know. Gosh darn it, Josh should have played that a little more aggressively. Instead, he waited a little too long, and that set was just too primed to not hit.
Yeah, you don't want to give him that kind of opportunity. Danny O'Dwyer, a known finisher in his Rocket League play.
Indeed.
Okay, oh, that's a dangerous play. Does Josh have the boost to make it? No, he doesn't. That is a nice little pickup from about midfield on Josh Shaw's clear attempt. Danny coming in. Richard just close there. We could make a play on the ball. Could have jumped a little bit, but Danny able to pop it over his head and take the lead 2-1 here in the first match of our 3-game series. Gets a favorable kickoff here, and it's still in there. Let's see if anyone comes up to make the play. Nope, Julio playing it safe in the back, but there's Richard with some nice pressure up forward. And it's going to give Josh an opportunity, but he's going to leave it. He's going to play it a little bit safe. Now coming onto it, waiting for the cross, and it's off the crossbar. Ooh, Richard looking for a little reverse action. Josh coming across, trying to get a side hit on it. Doesn't manage to do it, but that's some nice pressure by Richard. Unfortunately, it bounces back in the middle. This is a dangerous situation that they don't want to have. That kind of high ball.
That's ugly.
That's going to go for Danny as he waits patiently just behind the midline. Josh not able to clear it hard enough to get it past him. Manages to jock Julio, but that's the wrong player if you want to defend against those midfield shots.
You know, Chris, I'm not seeing a lot of communication with blue team. It looked like Richard was just hanging out midfield when Josh was going for a shot, in turn leaving their own goal very much open.
Speaking of open goals,
good lord,
Julio Pac with the whiff on the goal line save, got a little serendipitous off the kickoff here, and Josh is able to take advantage. That's a tough one to play, and Josh makes sure that goes in to bring them in within one of tying this up with just under a minute left to play. And another good sort of challenge here from Richard on the kickoff. And that's Danny with a little aerial, but he puts it in the center. That's a great line for Josh to come on. Is that going to go? He misses it wide to the right. He's able to take another shot. It goes wide to the left. Oh, he's got to be kicking himself for that. That was a great opportunity. And now this challenge is not going to be fast enough for Richard Lee, and so it's into the corner. Josh waiting on the goal line to make a play on it, and he does. There's Danny waiting to poach again, and he's coming across with another shot. It's going to go in the far corner, just like that goal he scored before. Look, Josh even knows it's coming, but he's not able to get across because Julio jocks him. He was making the track back, predicting that shot again. He predicted right, just couldn't get there. Now Josh giving the no problem, showing some confidence here with 20 seconds left to go. He's going to have to play a little more aggressively than that. If he wants to make something happen, he's going to let Julio get a hit on it and try to make a play on it, but it's coming awkwardly in, and you're going to have to get aerial on that. You're going to have to get up for that a little sooner, but that's coming back into the goal. Really doesn't matter if they score here.
Jeez.
But Julio's going to tally his first goal of the tournament, I believe. Congratulations to our rookie player.
Richard, not sure what to really do here.
No. Yeah, that's a tricky one to play.
It's still tricky, indeed.
When it loops up like that, it puts your camera angle at a really high position, and that can be tough. That can be one of the drawbacks of ball cam, is to see it up that high to keep track of where you are, what kind of play you can make. And there it is, folks. The final score, 5-2. The team of Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pac over Josh Shaw and Richard Lee in the first of this best-of-3 matchup. Now, Rob, you were saying communication looked like it was an issue for the blue team in this first match. What do you think are going to be the keys for them to pull this next one out?
Jeez. I would say communication. I mean, Richard, yes, he is the inexperienced player, but it looked like he wasn't really sure what to do with himself. I saw him playing a little bit of midfield there, maybe a little too much. Josh is going to be making the shots, but he's also going to have Richard fall back and hit the goal, his own goal, as a defensive play. I mean, you're just not seeing a lot of movement, and I like to see more from blue.
It's going to be tough. I'm going to prescribe the Andy Bauman strategy for Josh Shaw here. Go hard. You need to score goals, and you're going to be the one to do it, Josh. Let's see how this next match goes. They're starting it up right about now. Danny and Julio had a real strong offensive effort. Danny doing a great job waiting around the midfield to take advantage of crosses and stuff, or clear attempts on definitely at least 2 of his goals. And now he's going to lead off, charging in for the kickoff, and we're going to wait and watch who's going to take the lead for blue. It's going to be Josh Shaw with the pink mohawk. Nope, it's going to be Richard coming in slow, but manages to get up and block so that the ball does not go onto the goal, and that's a weird little center situation. Could get him into trouble. You see Josh Shaw tracking back there rapidly, trying to get in position to counter a potential Danny shot, but that's a whiff by both Danny and Richard, and Josh able to get it into the center. Danny just wants to disrupt Josh's approach on that play, and Julio trying to dig it out, not quite able to, but there's Danny, gets stuffed by Josh. The ball is still in the box for the blue team. They really need to try to get onto it. Josh is a little far back. He's playing it conservatively. You can't blame him given the score of the first match, but you're really going to have to up the goal scoring
right here
opportunities. That was one. Maybe he didn't have the boost to run onto it.
Pursued it. That was surprising. He didn't do much with that.
Oof, that was a nice little attempt to try to get a little angle on that. And Julio pounds one, then that's going to be going in. If they can't get back to it, they definitely can't. That's a great lineup by the old fireman Julio here. Turns it in, flips it forward, and that is right on goal. Blue team not able to track back and get it. And that's the caveat here. You know, you try to play aggressively, you leave yourself open to stuff like that, and it's tough. It's tough out there, man. That's Rocket League.
It really is.
Danny popping it back into the center, trying to get a play on it, but he knows that he left it open for Josh, so he tracks back to get his boost. And now coming in on the reverse, Josh coming in to totally body Danny O'Dwyer, looking for it and trying to send Richard after the ball.
We haven't seen much of that, Chris.
Didn't quite work out. Josh able to defend here, and Richard coming onto it now as well. That's a nice little pop-up. Give the blue team a little bit of progress. Josh is going to make a strong hit on here. This one going to come around, or is Julio going to get in the way?
Nope,
that's coming close. But Danny's there to scoot it right off the goal line and send it down the field. Now there's Richard. Oh, they're getting a little physical in the back there, leaving it up to their rookies. And, it's going to be a jump shot. And Josh coming on so hard to make a defensive play, ends up blowing it, hammering it in there. A truly apt phrase. Sound effect.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rob.
You bet.
All right, they're down 2-0, but still plenty of game left to play here. You just got to hope they try to adopt some sort of change in mentality. It's not really going well for them. That was came onto that a little aggressively. Danny content to sit back and let Julio make some aggressive plays now that they've got a 2-0 lead, but here he is coming a little forward to punch it in there just to keep the pressure on, keep Julio in the mix. And Julio scored one early today, so you can't count him out, even though he is still pretty new to the Rocket League scene. He's definitely a seasoned competitor, one of our premier fighting game players here in the GameSpot office. And there's Danny poaching from midfield yet again.
Yes.
You know where it's killing this blue team is these soft... Well, that wasn't even a soft hit. Like, that was a pretty strong hit, but there's no one to follow it up, and Danny's right in the position, so...
Their setup is actually something much different than what we would see from other teams, which is Danny not necessarily making these shots. He's not taking the risks. He's playing the mid game, and he's having Julio do much of the busy work as far as offense goes. And Danny just comes in and cleans up. And that is a very reserved way of playing. Danny being the better player, as you know, he in turn also helps out his own defense by being present.
Gonna have to make a play on that one. No, he doesn't. And is Julio gonna wrap it up?
Oh,
no, he overruns it.
What a save!
Josh able to come back after Julio not able to corral that shot into the corner, and now they're pressing forward. Julio's out of position a little bit, but he's tracking back, and now this ball's coming in a little dangerously. That's a nice hit by Josh.
A nice one.
Maybe an opportunity here if he can play a little bit more aggressively, but we're just not seeing him live the spirit of the pink mohawk, man.
I 100%
You gotta get in
agree.
there, and Richard Lee on the goal line, able to get his car on it, but it's not enough to keep that ball out. Julio coming around for a nice shot to get that angle. We got a promising new player here in Julio Pack, for sure.
We do. You know, at this point, Chris, you go all in. The score is not pretty.
No.
And you can afford to make some risks now.
You just gotta go ham. I'm told that is a phrase that delineates from the fact that ham is delicious, and it does everything it can be to be delicious. So that's what you need to do here.
I never knew that was the meaning.
Oh yeah, no, I understand pop culture very well.
Quite the block there.
That was a nice save by Josh Shaw on the goal line, and now they're, grinding out the defense can be satisfying, but when you're down 4-0, it's got to be frustrating for them to keep having the ball pounded back in there, and that one is looking dangerous. That is maybe going to go in. It is definitely going in. Danny O'Dwyer with the long shot. It is 5-0 here, folks, and I think we've got a winner in Danny's team. With Julio Pak pulling his weight for sure as the less experienced player in the mix. Little confusion there. That's going to go right in. Thought there was maybe hope for a post. It hit the post, just
Chris,
the wrong side of the post.
This is something you don't want to happen. Is again. That is a very, in my opinion, basic communication. Who's going for it? And you're not even seeing that.
It's right in there, man. You got to go for it. The defending, it's right there on the D-pad. I know these two are sitting right next to each other, but I think at this point, all bets are off for those two. I feel like, what do you do, Rob, at this point when you're down 6-0 and all hope of victory has faded from your eyes?
I'd laugh it off.
You laugh it off? You just try to have some fun out there? Because isn't that what we're all here to do?
Indeed.
No, Rob, we're here to win.
Well, that ain't happening in this one.
That's not happening for Josh Shaw and Richard Lee, but it is going to happen for Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pak, barring some kind of miracle. They are going to go on to the third round of competition, having gotten a first-round bye. And there again, Danny back on that staunch defense. He's could have had to play on that. Now he's playing it patiently, backing up into his teammate. A little bit of miscommunication there, but it doesn't really matter. They actually get a pretty effective shot on goal there. Josh gets credit for the save. And now he's chasing it up that sideline. And Richard with a little bit of an awkward hit on it. Those are tough at midfield. You want them to go your way, but you got to position it right. All right, you got to get onto that now, Josh. Yes, that's what I want to see. But he gets one of those weird ones where you flip forward and then the ricochet comes back and hits your car anyways. Oh, no, is that going to go? It's going wide. Nice little defense there by Richard Lee. Sometimes the power shot across the goal is the best way to get it clear. And Orange team has it in the blue zone. Danny just trying to set it up for Julio for one last goal.
Ooh.
Josh Shaw's not having any of it. Coming in to tally yet another save. But all his saves were not enough as the Orange team cruises to victory in their second match. It's Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pak 6. Josh Shaw and Richard Lee, 0. So that's a GG for all. And Rob, we're going to go take a look at the bracket here. What we've seen here is we're in game number 10 right here. Richard and Josh came off that first round win to lose 2-0 to Danny and Julio. Now Danny and Julio are going next against Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert, one of the stronger teams in the match or in the tournament so far, with 2 commanding victories to get them into the round 3. And they're here tonight. So I think we're going to see Danny and Julio take them on right now.
Well, like right now.
Maybe. I
think they are getting ready right now.
They're getting it set up. So we are going to have another match for you folks. This is possibly going to be one of our now we're down to the 4 teams that have won. Marion Powers winning yesterday over Marco and Mike in a thriller, going up against Matt Paget and Chris Pereira at a game time to be named later. But now we've got Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert coming in to challenge the hot off their first victory, Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pak. And Rob, what are we expecting from this game? Because this is going to be a tough one. We saw some great team unity from Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert. And not just unity, but a lot of experience. Ryan Schubert is, he came in as an amateur. He doesn't play a lot with us in the office, but he does play a lot. And, he has a great on-field presence. He's got good striking potential. And he and Eric Tay were really, they kicked my ass. So
yeah, they were real hot. They definitely played off each other extremely well. I'm good. To be honest, these teams are looking pretty fair coming in. Danny and Pac-Man being a little bit more of the wild card, and that we've only seen one match.
That's true, but Richard and Josh, they had a win. They're proven winners, but Danny and Julio handled them no problem. Julio looking really strong out there. Some good I think his on-field awareness was what impressed me. He tended to be in the place where he needed to be. There wasn't a ton of stacking up, and when there was, it was Danny coming into where Julio was,
cleaning up
in the place where Julio should have been. So that's one of the key things. It's you can develop that over a lot of Rocket League play, but he's a natural coming in, so I think we're going to have ourselves a good match here. Why don't I just poke my head out, Rob? I'm going to see what the details are of the match, what room we should join, etc., and we'll be right back. Rob's going to keep you folks company. I'll be back in a sec.
Great. Thank you for joining GameSpot's In-Office Championship! It's going to be real fun. Again, we have one more match coming up. Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert versus Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pac-Man. It's going to be a great game. Thanks for watching. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. I am. I plan on leaving soon. Get a little beverage. Who knows? Let's check the chat here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit up that chat, and we will talk. And I am told I just went tomato. It's kind of hot in here. A lot of lights. Not much of a fan. Maybe we should turn that fan on.
You got it, bud.
Thanks, Chris. Again, thanks for watching, everyone. Chris, what's our status here on the next match?
Blowing things all over the place. We're gonna get into that room that we were in before. Details.
Yes, I believe I do, actually.
Okay.
Let's fire that up.
All right, we're just getting situated here. Danny and Julio are ready to go. Ryan Schubert and Eric Tay now getting their setup. And we're going to have ourselves a nice little third round match.
Grand old time.
Excuse me there, folks. Happy Friday to everybody.
Happy Friday, Chris. So, having been in the pit there, Chris, what was the morale like of both teams?
Well, I expected Danny to be walking around with a big old smile on his face, but he's all focus on the next game. We talked logistics about what we're getting into. I think he's felt that one was seemed pretty confident. Felt that one was a little bit of a breeze, but not letting it go to his head at this point. Definitely knuckling down because he knows he's in for a challenge as Eric and Ryan get situated. Of course, you got to think that Danny and Julio are coming in here with a bit of an advantage, having just won 2 games. They're well and warmed up. I'm not sure what kind of warm-up Eric Tay has been doing, if any, or Ryan Schubert. We've got a nice little couch setup where they're going to be playing. One of them is at least going to be playing, and they're booting it up now, so I don't think they've been practicing, but... we saw Mary Kish yesterday. Didn't play her first round, didn't practice before her first round, but then came back to win a storming victory. And, can be anybody's game.
Yeah.
Joining us here in the booth is Mike Mahardy.
Great.
Competitor from yesterday. Lost in that close one to Mary Kish and Michael Powers. Mahardy, you were out there watching the game play out. What's your read on the team of Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pac?
Ooh, do tell, Mike.
Seemed pretty promising.
Why don't you get your face in this mic over here?
What was the final score? I didn't see the last game.
It's like
0-5.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that game actually. Yeah. That was promising because Julio, I think, was a bit of not an unknown. We've seen him play a little bit, but definitely one of the greener people in the office.
Certainly.
So it's promising because they seem balanced for a Pro-Am tournament, which that's what I thought about my team.
Yep.
And I sucked, and Marco was preparing us yesterday, so you never know what's going to happen.
Are you taking that one on your shoulders, Mike? You're a day out from your loss and entering the losers bracket. Yeah, have you recovered from the blow?
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the loser bracket match, trying to get back up there into the top bracket.
That's true. I mean, you guys have a chance to get back in there and face the inevitable winner of these semifinal matches. We've got Danny facing off with Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert now. Danny and Julio are facing them. Tay and Schubert looking really good in their first 2 rounds. What do you think their chances are here against the rolling Danny and Julio?
Danny and Julio look good. I'm gonna have to go with Tay and Schubert though. I think they have been too strong in the matches we've seen, and see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Other than that, though, have a good weekend, everyone, and enjoy some Rocket League.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
Good to see you, bud.
Thanks, Rob.
Get the hell out of here.
Mike Mahardy, one of our commentators here, friend of the show here in the Rocket League tournament in the GameSpot office. All right, we have got some folks from Psyonix watching, apparently.
Ooh.
What's up, guys? Hey.
Hey.
Thanks for coming out, and thanks for making this friggin' cool game. Rob,
cool.
while
Hey,
we
how are
wait
ya?
for the final person to get in here, do you know what do you know about season 2 for Rocket League?
You know, Chris, not much. I don't know. I don't know much about season 2. Do tell. Do you have any idea?
Oh, dude, they're mixing it up. So there's going to be they're changing the ranking system so that it's not going to be like bronze 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, silver 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
You've got these different sort of division titles here of prospect, different levels of prospect, challenger, and rising star, all-star, superstar, champion. Those blue titles that, gosh, I really don't think I will ever attain.
So status is basically like, you know, that kind of explain more of your ranking. So like a rising star could very well mean you've been winning a lot of games consistently, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think they're trying to they said they're trying to take away some of the importance on game to game, like putting less weight on individual games, looking a little bit more at the trend of your overall play. So, you know, you lose 1, but then you win 3 in a row, you're going to rise significantly, or, well, you know, rise to some degree. Who knows how it's actually going to pan out. But, yeah, they're restructuring it a little bit. They're putting some different items in there. And definitely trying to get things a little more lively. Well, not more lively, but trying to, like, you know, maintain this kind of competitive scene that we see developing here in Rocket League. There's been a bunch of also competitive action out of Europe this week that we've been watching on the streams.
Yeah, I've been seeing you watching some of those streams. Which one were you watching lately? Was that today, I think?
I was watching today Kronovi play a little one-on-one against Scrub Killa.
I heard he didn't do too well.
Was killing him. Yeah. But, you know, like, it's just always a pleasure to watch these players and start to think about, like, could I like, what kind of moves you could incorporate, right? Because I'm not going to be aerialing like any of these guys anytime soon, but like little ways that you can improve your game and like get a little better. And, you know, even when we're watching these games, like, every game you watch, you kind of think, how would I have done that differently? Or you see someone make a nice move or make a nice read. It kind of like, it just like fuels you a little bit, fuels the Rocket League love.
Absolutely.
Which we have here in the office in spades. We are waiting for this match to start. We're getting Ryan Schubert into it, folks. This is going to be one of our most competitive matches yet in the GameSpot Rocket League tournament. We are into round 3.
Stoked.
We'll take a quick look at the bracket here. This is the game we'll be playing. We'll be seeing Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert, winners of the first round and second round. They went up 2-0 in both of these matches, took care of their opponents easily, myself included, and are looking real strong into this round 3 matchup. And then we have Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack, fresh off their first round victory and ready to take on the round 3 competition, which is going to start right about now. Let's head in here. We've got the blue team, Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert, and then we've got the orange team, Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack, kicking it off here in this best of 3 match in GameSpot's round 3 of our Rocket League tournament. Danny and Eric Tay clashing at midfield. It goes off to the right just slightly, and Tay's going to get a little hit on that, pushing it up forward as Danny retreats to get his boost, leaving Julio to come up. Ryan Schubert with a strong challenge, getting him in there. He's not in a position to make a play on this, but Danny's going to make just able to make a touch to keep it out of the goal. Tay mixing it up in there. Julio trying to get something to happen. Danny backflips it out. A little bit of a dangerous play there, and now blue team both coming on strong to the same cross. And Eric Tay able to cut it back under, but shuffled out of the box by Julio Pack. And now this one's coming in high. It's going to go all the way off the wall from Eric Tay to open up the scoring here. 35 seconds in.
Excuse me.
Looks like he got it off the hood of Julio Pack, and as that challenge definitely went the blue team's way. And now they're up 1-0. Let's see what the second kickoff brings. It's Ryan Schubert and Danny O'Dwyer smashing up at midfield. Julio coming onto this play, and he's waiting for it to come down off the wall. Able to make a nice little play there to pop it up for Danny, who's now onto it with some Christmas presents boosts. Pops it right in front. This is a nice little cross, but it doesn't quite get there, so Eric Tay able to scoop it out. Make a little hit on it, get it back to midfield. That's where we saw Danny doing some great poaching last time, and Julio this time overcommits. Eric Tay able to punish along with Ryan Schubert, and they go up 2-0 in the first minute here.
You know what's interesting, Chris, is this time around you're seeing Danny, who there made a very aggressive play, and in turn kind of changed up what I feel like has been Orange Team's ritual, which is Danny kind of conservatively hanging back, taking only a few shots, but more of the defensive game. Than
Well, he's onto one now, trying to dribble himself something in front of the net, but it's Eric Tay with the clear. Oh, and then he comes in for a clear attempt, and it doesn't go, and this is bad. Whoa, Tay comes back after Danny can't quite touch it in. He scoops it off the goal line. Eric Tay is all over the place, making plays for the blue team early here in this matchup, but now Danny coming onto one. That's a bad whiff, and that's going to go in. No, it's not. Tay on the goal line as Schubert came in for the high challenge and gave Danny that opening. Now Danny keeping the shots up, continuing to pound them in on the goal there, forcing Eric Tay to make those defensive plays. And so far, Tay has been stalwart. Now Ryan Schubert circling, waiting to make a play from midfield. Comes in a little too late for that one, and now Julio is onto it. Puts it towards the goal. Eric Tay able to get his fender on it. And now wants to get it up and over Danny because he presumably saw those long goals from last time. A little bit of a jock situation there. I think Tay might have messed up Ryan's run onto it, and now it's a perpendicular cross. Those are the problematic ones. They're going to create trouble for you. Just creates an opportunity for the orange team to get onto it, but Eric Tay able to clear it out after Ryan Schubert does not work on the wall.
Hot shot!
Comes in. It's going to bounce right in front. Ryan Schubert not in a position to get it. He misunderestimated his angle there. Ooh, and there it's at midfield. A bit of a quiet moment before Eric Tay comes rocketing in with his wizard hat to make something happen. Oh, that one's in front. You can bet. I bet I see a Danny O'Dwyer aerial coming in here. He's going to get a touch on it. It happens. Oh, Ryan Schubert able to get a rebuttal. But no, Danny with the final word on this one. Let's watch this from the goal line cam. He gets it. Boom.
Nice attempt at a save, but gosh darn it, was not enough.
Just not high enough to get it clear. It goes into the top corner, and that's 2-1. Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert over Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack here with just over 2 minutes left to play. Tay coming in from that angle. He likes to shoot from that angle, but not able to get it right. And then we've got Danny coming back. Tay with one of those perpendicular crosses. Problem time. And he's going to serve up another one. You know, sometimes you just need to churn it up, and that's all you can do. And that has worked out okay so far. And
churn that butter.
Coming out here, we saw Ryan Schubert sort of positioning himself under it. You got to hope that there's some communication on the blue team. It looked like it was. Tay said, I got it. Schubert moved off. And now they're pushing it in just to get rebutted by Danny O'Dwyer. And now this is the angle from which he's so dangerous. Ryan Schubert is there to make the goal line save. And they're trying to get the cross attempt. Eric Tay backs off, fearing the counterattack from Danny, which doesn't come. So he comes back in, makes a play on it. Danny retreating, getting his boost, and now he's going to be on this one with a nice shot towards the goal. Is it going to come inside, or is it going to deflect? It's Ryan Schubert clearing it to the side. Danny O'Dwyer now trying to get his car on it and trying to get it back in front, hoping Julio's going to be there. But no, it's a bad ricochet for the orange team as it comes all the way back down, hits off the end wall, and Eric Tay's going to go up for this one. Yes, he does.
Oh, excuse me, Danny. Quite the save there.
Nice save on the goal line to keep their hopes alive. Nice little body by Ryan Schubert there, getting in his way, but that roll shot could be trouble for the orange team. Danny almost able to finish it. So close, came in real hot off that short bounce. That was a great play. He's just not able to finish it. And now this is another great play. A center, slightly disrupted. Danny comes onto it, but can't quite get his angle. And now Eric Tay's on the counterattack. He's got no boost. Is his flips going to get him? There they are. Oh, and that's 3-1 with 30 seconds left. Oh, you can just watch both of these players in agony. Danny desperately flipping, trying to get ahead of it. Eric Tay swerves to try to make a play on it. He's not able to. Just gets to watch it roll in, though. And now
a lot of swearing
Orange team has got to get on one because they are down 2 goals, and there is only 30 seconds remaining.
At this moment in time, yeah, Orange team go all in, and my God.
Oh, that's an awkward one, but they both work together to get that clear. Danny's sweeping back around, hoping to get a good angle on it, and he does get a little touch on Tay's hit, and that roll goes a little awry. Doesn't get the forward momentum he needs, but he's coming off the wall here. This is going towards the goal, so we could have a last-minute goal here. Let's see if Julio can get onto it with 3-2-1. That is going to be it for the Orange team. Coming off their wins, they lose the first match of this 3-round series. Ryan Schubert and Eric Tay with the win. Tay tallying 3 goals and 4 shots. Both of them strong save game as Danny and Julio were knocking on the door a few times there, Rob.
Wow.
That was a pretty close match.
Yeah, Danny really stepping up in the end there. holy God, that one follow through he had was so close.
So close
he
to just
really
sneaking it in there off the short hop, but not able to make it happen. You know, a few things. A save goes a different way. A shot goes a different angle. We have a totally different game on our hands. But with a final score of 3-1, the orange team's got to be looking to the next match and thinking, all right, we gotta step up our game.
Yeah, you know, again, Danny really changing up the play style we saw from the previous game. Very much playing more aggressively and taking those risks. Unfortunately, I feel like a couple moments Julio just wasn't quite present. But you know, that's life.
Well, let's see how they step it up here. Interesting note, this is our first cross-platform match here with Ryan Schubert and Eric Tay on the PS4, Danny O'Dwyer and Julio on the PC. And it's the second game in this round 3 matchup in GameSpot's Rocket League tournament. The orange team gives up the first game to the blue team, and now the kickoff. Danny O'Dwyer able to get on it and get it into the blue corner early on to put some early pressure on Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert. Now we've got Tay coming across the middle to challenge Julio. Julio beats him to the ball and gets it in there, but Ryan Schubert there to make a little play on it and disrupts his action. This is a great opportunity for Danny early. He's not able to get up and on it the way he quite would like. And now Eric Tay with a strong ball to the corner that Julio breaks up, puts it in the middle, but Eric Tay's able to adjust and make a nice little touch on it. It rolls ever so gently. And speaking of ever so gently, that's this touch on the counterattack. Danny O'Dwyer with an early goal just 30 seconds in. And that is the orange team taking their first lead in this series. And that's got to be an early confidence boost for those guys.
Absolutely, Chris. That's something you really want.
Confidence. It's the stuff. All right, a little bit of a jump ball here at the start. Ryan Schubert came through, and there he went. Now Danny cutting it back with a nice roll shot. Eric Tay able to get it off his bumper, but now Julio's got a chance to run onto it, and he takes advantage. What a shot!
Oh, my God!
Ryan Schubert not able to disrupt him that much. It comes in too hot over Eric Tay. He's not able to get any play on it on the corner, and this match has been quite a turnaround. The blue team went up 2-0 quick in the first match, and now it's orange up 2-0 quick in the second. They've got an opportunity here, but Danny with plenty of boosts is onto it, and he might have another one here, but no, it's just slightly wide, and he's got another opportunity. Tay challenges, it goes high. Still in the mix. Danny not able to get his car on it that time, and Ryan's got a clear opportunity here, which utilizes nicely a little bit of a collision between the orange team. Creates this opportunity here for them. Both blue team going in there. Ryan Schubert maybe tracking along the wall to make a play on it. No, they're both covering back. They don't want this lead to get any bigger for the orange team than it already is. There's Eric Tay with a hit off the top of his car. Probably not the angle he quite wanted. And now Danny hard charging from the middle. He's going to make a shot, but it's nicely disrupted by Schubert before he can really get anywhere.
See, Danny knows what's up now. He has the very strong lead. We're going to expect a lot more defense out of him.
And that's a nice aggressive shot from Julio. Remember, folks, Julio is just in his first week of playing Rocket League ever. He's the amateur on the Pro-Am tournament here for the orange team, but he's been doing quite well. We saw some nice plays in the previous matchup, and here he is. Now Ryan Schubert with a great chance. He's not able to make the play on it, but it's still in front. Tay's got a chance. Ryan's got a chance. It's awkward. It's anyone's ball. Danny able to get it just away from the goal mouth, breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. But orange is not out of trouble yet as Ryan Schubert able to inch it back towards the center, and Eric Tay coming onto it. He's not going to go for the roll shot there. He's going to let Danny have his hit, and now he's going to come back in. And with this bounce going past Julio, no, it doesn't, as they were hoping it would. Julio playing some nice defense there.
Ooh, that's a pop.
And this is a tricky one. Danny puts it right in front. Tay able to get a piece of it, but he hit the crossbar. It hit the crossbar. Oh, but they got it. They're still knocking. Oh, a sidebar hit there. The pole on the side, the stingy goalposts are preventing blue there, and the staunch defense from orange helping. Oh, close work there at the halfway point, and now blue team back on their heels a little bit, just wanting to get regrouped. Don't want this to turn into anything for orange, but Danny coming in, it's not going to get a hit on it, and now Eric Tay's got a nice line. He pops it over Julio. That's going to roll right in.
That's it. That's a goal, Chris.
After 3 shots, Tay finally gets his goal, and now it's 2-1 with just over 2 minutes left in this match. Remember, orange team, if they lose, they're into the loser's bracket, so they got to hold on to this lead. Blue team, if they surge back, they are into the finals, our first team to get there. Let's see how this pans out.
Let's see it.
Oof. There's a ball that comes in, but there's Orange team not really pressing on this one. Here's
That's
Julio
ugly. Ooh.
waiting for it.
Tay not
A
letting it
lot
happen.
of misses here. A lot of misses. Not the clears they needed. Denny, you could see him sniffing after it, but he decided to pull back at the last second, not make the hit on it, not overcommit, and now he's back to make a defensive play, which he's going to do on this one off the goal line. You got to hope, but there's Ryan Schubert with a chance. Danny with it, and it's all tied up. It's all tied up. Eric Tay with a nice center here. It loops right up, and even though Schubert whiffs, Danny whiffs. And there's Eric Tay able to follow it up. We are all tied up here, folks, with a minute 37 left. This is a tight game. Thank you for tuning in. Whew, it's hot.
God,
It is
is hot. I just pissed myself.
Rob, gross. Super gross.
I've done that before. It's real ugly.
All right, Danny getting some dribbles here, some awkward touches, but he's still making
That
things
is
happen,
a
and that's going
beaut
to
of a
come.
set.
Come across in front. Eric Tay able to scoop it. That was key as Danny was there, but Julio's still in there. Gets a nice little touch on it, but it's disrupted slightly. It's still in the blue team's area. Julio able to prevent Tay from getting a solid hit on it. And now it's back to midfield. Tay regrouping, but he reverses into it. Such a bad play. So unlucky. Now Danny able to take advantage of that mistake and put them up 3-2. Look at this. He backs right into it. I don't know what he was trying to do.
That's a weird camera angle there.
That was horrible.
Not me. That was not me.
Save us, Roberts.
Jesus.
Okay.
That
nice
must be
little goal.
That must have been the excitement from the player there.
Oof. Taking advantage. Oh, yeah, that was player cam of... That was a frustration or excitement wiggle.
Definitely.
Both in equal measure here as we count down under 1 minute left to play. Orange team of Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack with the lead. They need this win to keep from elimination and relegation to the losers bracket. Eric Tay now pushing, hoping his teammate Ryan Schubert's going to come up and make a play on this cross, but it's Danny with a stingy little stop. Now it's going to bounce right around in front. Ooh, Tay in there to make a play on it, but Danny able to slightly get in the way. Gets a little bit clear. Orange team making some plays on the goal line to keep their lead. Oh, and there's Danny. He comes up and scoops. That is a nice midfield play. He eats Eric Tay's lunch and gobbles it all down. Boom there. Tay trying to get cute with some touches, trying to make something happen. And that's Danny from midfield for the 4-2 goal. One has to wonder if that's the nail in the coffin here for this match. Blue team challenging right off the bat, and the kickoff does not go their way. Ryan Schubert now trying to get it up the field to make something happen, and he gets it past Danny. Now it's Julio coming in with that midfield play, but it's past him. Eric Tay able to get a hit on it. It's not going to roll center. It's going to come straight back out. That's coming in. Julio's going to make a nice clear off the goal line, and that looks like it is going to be it for the blue team. In this match, they give it up, losing by a score of 4-2 to the team of Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack. My goodness, Rob, what a match.
Oh, Lord.
Whew. Danny O'Dwyer, Danny's team, the orange team with him and Julio go up early. Blue team fights back to equalize. And then orange team able to pull it out here and send us into a third game.
Yeah, that's what's happening. My God.
It's going to happen now, folks. We are going to go to the game feed. This is for all the marbles. The winner of this game will go to the finals as the victorious top bracket player team. And here we are. The ball, the boost. We're all set for a dramatic third-round matchup. This should prove to be a good one, folks. Thank you for joining us here. I'm Chris Waters, joined by Rob Handlery here in the booth to call the match for you. It is our pleasure to bring this action to you, and we're kicked off here. Eric Tay in the wizard hat. Ryan Schubert with the cow skull. Danny O'Dwyer hitting it forward to his buddy Julio Pack in the fire hat. And they've got some awkward balls here coming out into the center. It's Danny with an early challenge, but Ryan with a nice way to get up into his face. He knows that Danny has proven to score from that midfield line, and that aggression has been serving them well, the blue team, in shutting that down a little bit. Not to say he hasn't gotten a few in. And there's Eric Tay with our first destruction of the day, blowing up Danny O'Dwyer as Ryan Schubert able to track back nicely to play that one off the goal line. A nice little reflection here, and Danny's got a great line to put it into the side corner, but it goes just wide. And blue team able to hold on to that defensive posture they've been going, and now Eric Tay is onto one. He's got a little boost in the tank. Can he juke Danny? No, Danny gets his car in the way. Just able to deflect it wide. And now we're back Danny coming onto it.
This is heated.
This is a close one, Ryan Schubert. Great job tracking back as Eric Tay challenges him and gets beaten by Danny, but Schubert on the goal line able to clear it off. Danny again sending in that shot, and that's a nice save by Eric Tay. Way to clear it, even if it wasn't quite going into goal. That would have been a bad situation for Blue had they let that one go through. Now he's got both orange aggressively clearing, but that pops up. And Eric Tay with the aerial. It's going to come back in front. Is Danny going to run onto it? Julio hits it. They do a little sandwich situation, and they've got a bad bounce in front. Eric Tay tries to get onto it. Julio able to clear it out. And now coming down the sideline, gives a little pop-up play. One of these slow burn corners. You don't quite know how it's going to go out. Everyone wants to get a strong hit onto it, but nobody quite does, and now it's Ryan Schubert with a nice clear, little boost. Julio able to obstruct it, keep it at midfield, but there's Eric Tay pounding it in off the back wall, and he's going to get a touch on it. No, they both go under it. Open. And now there's a great counterattack opportunity, but Eric Tay able to come back. Nice little e-brake turn to position himself facing upfield as Blue Team gets out of a little bit of a scary situation there that could have developed, but they're still both teams playing a strong defensive game. As we approach the midpoint, Danny O'Dwyer crosses one across the front of the goal, but no joy yet for either team in the goal-scoring realm.
Ooh, denied.
That is a nice work. You got to get up for those if they're just lazily coming across the front. And now Schubert with a little bit of boost onto it. Tay wanted that one. Danny plays it back into the corner. Now Danny, again, trying to dig it out of the corner, and he does. He's bringing it back across midfield, but here's Eric Tay with the poach, and he goes just wide of the goal, but it's going to give him another opportunity to put in a center here. Looks like an easy clear for Danny with Ryan Schubert waiting at midfield to take a shot at it, and that one goes way wide, but it's going to come back in the center. Can Julio get onto it with Eric Tay tracking back? Oh, that was a bad touch for Tay, but he was saved by Julio. That could have been an own goal situation. Ooh, and we're just under 2 minutes left to play, and still no score. This is going to be a tight one. This is a defensive battle. Both teams know how dangerous each other is, and so they're giving each other the defensive respect to keep this at 0-0, but one of these teams is going to have a breakout. Whether it's going to be on a mistake or whether it's going to be on a bold offensive play, we have yet to see.
That's a goal!
My goodness, there it is, folks, with 1 minute and 29 seconds off a nice little looping cross here. Julio not able to make the play. Danny tracks back, but he's just not in time. He's almost there, but Tay scoots it in. And now it's 1-0. The pressure is really on Orange Team. Do you think Blue just turtles up here, or do you think they try to get themselves one more and solidify? I think they're going to try to get one more, and this is a beautiful cross. Danny is there to make the play onto it, and now Julio racing onto the ball, gets a nice little wall cross. That's in front, and Danny's going to do it. Tay with a defensive gaff. Danny comes in right over the top. What a ball by Julio Pack, folks. You don't see that kind of wall play from an amateur very often, but that was just what his team needed, and Danny is there to finish it. We're all tied up, folks, and there's just over a minute left to play. Whew.
Good Lord.
We've got ourselves a good one here, Rob. This has been a great series so far. Both teams playing excellent ball, and that's a nice little shot by Tay. It's just wide, and now we've got a ball. Julio is carrying it down. Danny gives him a little jock, and he's going to try to jock it in over here. He dribbles it. Is he going to come back around?
Oh, God.
No, he's not able to get the touches he needs, and now Julio able to get in Tay's face, prevent the clean clear, and that's going to give Orange Team chance to track back. Danny's already in the goal. Julio's already back there as well. And this is a little bit of an awkward position because it's going to be bouncing in high. Tay goes for the quick shot. Danny able to save it off the goal line. Ooh, and he's coming down now. And that's going right in. Tay goes for the jump, but he doesn't do it. He goes right over Danny. That one's going to roll in. Danny's going to escort it all the way to the ball. His dance card is full. Tay coming in, misses the shot, misses the jock. Oh, he's got to be kicking himself for that one. He's got 28 seconds to make it up to his teammate Ryan Schubert as the Blue Team down 1-2 with just 28 seconds remaining.
Like an F-18 covering Air Force One, Chris. That was impressive.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Just the fly along, and now Tay fighting to get one in front for his teammate, and he's going to do it. That's going to float in there. He's coming in with a roll shot. Can't quite get the angle, but it's still into the corner. Can he dig it out with some little e-brake action? 10 seconds left. They're counting it down. This is the final approach for the team. No! Ryan Schubert not able to get the hit he needs.
It's a train
and
wreck.
Julio's just going to watch this one go. They're not going to pound it in. Very sportsmanlike ending for the orange team. But what a finish, folks. As the series goes to 3, it's Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack with the win over Eric Tay and Ryan Schubert to propel themselves into the finals of GameSpot's Rocket League tournament. Whew! Rob Handlery, what a match.
I'd say for Danny O'Dwyer and Julio Pack, it's been a pretty successful day.
Absolutely. They played their first round. They win 2-0, no problem. And now this one gives them quite a challenge here in the round 3 action. But they're equal to it and better. And they go through into the semifinals. Whew. I wonder if we're going to get any of these competitors in here to chat with us in a moment. But that was a great match. Some of the greatest action we've seen so far here in GameSpot's Rocket League tournament. And there's only more to come here, folks, as we've got some excellent high round play. Who's coming through the door? It's no one else but Danny O'Dwyer. The man has been off his face. He's
Danny boy!
been quite a match for you there, buddy.
We were just saying outside, we remember when Rocket League used to be fun. Fucking...
Oh, dude, the adrenaline is real. You just all of a sudden you put a bracket on it and you broadcast it out to a couple hundred folks, and oh my goodness,
they were so good. Schubert and Tay were there were the amount of. Do you see you could see the amount of times they had shots but they didn't have goals, just off the line, left, right, center. Julio has played.
What's up with that?
He's played 4 games ever.
Yeah,
but
man.
He's just a competitive gamer dude.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier he's got great field sense. He never seemed to be you guys had a few collisions there that created some awkward situations, but still he was able to finish on a few of those, and definitely one of the strongest rookies we've seen so far in this tournament.
Fucking crazy.
The wall game he had. Did
you see this? Yeah.
I can't even do that.
The setup for the goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
The second goal, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a beautiful shot. And great finishing by you. Some great matches here. The folks in the chat were definitely lit up, and thanks for coming in here. You are heading into the finals now.
I guess.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, go back and watch the match. You can hear Rob and I losing our minds during that second match, especially.
Because I could hear you because outside, dead silence, except when Eric scores.
Yeah, I heard one save or something like that.
I think when Eric scored because he scored that really good angle goal in the last game. When he scored that, he fucking stood up and went. Because it was 3.5 minutes of no one scoring. Fuck.
Right? Yeah. Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Yeah, great goal.
How are you feeling when second round, where you were up by 2 and then they came back? And then what was going through your head because you finally squeezed in another goal there?
Yeah, it was
in order to keep the match going.
What I was thinking of was about Josh and Richard were so good. They were so solid. Yeah. But that thing happens when you lose a goal that you then lose loads more. And I was thinking that's going to happen now. But and Julio was just turned to me and was like, "Don't worry, man."
So this the
fighting game community fucking mentality.
Sure.
And he was like, "Don't worry, man." I'm like, "All right."
All right, we're cool.
There, yeah. Wow.
Fucking great. This is so I've been watching all your games on the commute home. This is so much more fun watching than it is playing.
Oh yeah. Dude, who's playing is super stressful.
Super fucking stressful.
Well, you've got some more matches ahead of you, Danny. We're going to take a look at the bracket here and set it up for the folks. Thanks for joining us here. All right, folks, before we round out, let's just take a look at the remaining bracket here. And you're right, Danny is going into the winners finals, technically the semifinals, right here in our bracket. And we are going to give you guys a better look here. This is where we're at. He's going to be him and Julio are going to be facing off against the winner of Matt Paget and Chris Pereira versus Mary Kish and Michael Powers. That'll put them into the semis, which will then put them into the finals against the winners of the losers bracket. And then there might be some extra stuff going on down here. I didn't make the bracket. I don't quite understand it, folks, but I will by the next time we cast. So,
as far as next week goes, my gosh, I'm just realizing I'm playing Josh and Richard, the losers of today.
That's true. You're here, and I'm here too, waiting for Derek and Gadget, Eddie and Tony to play. We're going to see some losers bracket action, seeing who rises to the top there. We've got Tay and Schubert coming in off that heartbreaking loss to Danny and Julio just now. So we've got a lot of Rocket League tournament action ahead here, folks, out of the GameSpot offices. Thanks again for joining us here on a Friday evening, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Chris Waters. This is my man, Rob Handlery.
Hey.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. It's a great game, great community here, and we'll be coming at you next week with some more GameSpot Rocket League action. All right. You going to send us out with some air horns, Rob? Beautiful. You have a great weekend, folks. Play some Rocket League.
Goodbye.
Have some fun.